I've been doing YouTube for a long time and I made a lot of videos about getting things done, about productivity, and in this video I wanted to share with you the top 10 time management tips that I use. These are the tips that actually make a huge impact on things like how on top of things I feel, how much I'm able to get done, and how well I spend my time. Motivation comes after starting, not before. Action builds momentum. This quote is from James Clear and it's completely changed how I approach my days. A pattern that's really easy for anyone to fall into is waiting for motivation to hit you. You wake up, you wait for the motivation to come to start cleaning your room and getting ready. You have a goal of buying a house, but you're just waiting for the day that you feel like starting to save for it. So there are a few ways that this knowledge has changed my life. Firstly, I use the go slow but don't stop rule. So if I'm feeling wildly demotivated, instead of just throwing all my self-care tasks out the window, I tell myself to go slow, don't stop. Cooking a simple tofu stir fry might take 2 episodes of The Witcher instead of the usual 30 minutes. My usual tidy routine could take 45 minutes, not 15. But as soon as I start, I feel this motivation to keep on going, and I just tell myself, just go slow, don't stop. Just starting creates almost this open loop in my mind that I feel the need to close despite a lack of motivation. Secondly, I tell myself to just do it for 10 minutes. If I don't feel like writing, editing, creating, I say to myself, it's okay, just do it for 10 minutes, see how you feel. You can totally stop after that, just do it for 10. So I set a timer and I do it for 10. Something this reminds me of is if you've ever done a survey and it presents you with the first page, it has like 2 fields in it, you fill them out, you click next. There's another 5 questions and you're like, okay, well I completed the first page, I'll do these 5 questions. The survey becomes this open loop, and because you've started it, you feel the urge to finish it. By telling yourself, I'm just gonna do it for 10 minutes, I'm just gonna do it for 20 minutes, you're gonna open the loop far enough that you'll feel the urge to close it. The ultimate thing to do when you are demotivated is to apply the just do it for 10 minutes and slow but don't stop. Work in sessions. Pomodoros, work cycles, work sessions, whatever you wanna call it. When I work, break, work, break, I get way more done and I feel better in my days. I tried Pomodoros a few times before they actually stuck, and the biggest problem that I had with Pomodoros is how structured and unflexible they are. Sometimes I'd want a longer Pomodoro, sometimes I want a longer break, and the structure made me feel a little trapped. But now I practice flexible Pomodoros, which for me works just as well. So my Pomodoros might be 20 minutes if I'm feeling low on energy, might be 50 minutes if I'm feeling really in the flow. My breaks might be 10 minutes if I feel like I'm really keen to get back to work. I might extend it to 20 minutes if I had a 50-minute session. Another layer that I've added onto Pomodoros that I find makes them work much better is setting goals. So I have a little work session template. It looks like this. It's inspired very much from Ultracycle, which is a company that's all about accountable Pomodoros. I'll have the link below. But before any work session, I'll specify my goal that I want to achieve within that work session. I identify any big distractions that I could see mucking up my sessions so that I can plan for them ahead of time. And I do things like rate my energy and my engagement, which I find helps to weave self-compassion into the process. If I know that I am low energy, I don't expect quite as much from myself of a work session. Work sessions like that are one of the best things that has happened to me from a time management perspective. Make your time visible. So this is a really quick change that you can make during your days. During work sessions, I make a point to use my time timer and to make my time visible. There's something about being able to see out of the corner of my eye that time is actually passing that motivates me to get my work done. Time pressure is something that I am in 2 minds about, so if I'm doing administrative, more clinical kind of tasks that don't require any creative thinking, time pressure is it. If I'm doing creative kind of tasks, I try to take the time pressure off. I probably wouldn't use a time timer. You can make your time more visible with a Pomodoro app. There are plenty on desktop. There are plenty of extensions in Google Chrome. There are apps that you can get so you can set up your phone and you have a visible timer there. You can get an hourglass, or you can get a time timer from a place like Amazon. Work alongside someone. Recently, I felt really overwhelmed by a tax task, which is the worst kind of task in my mind. My beautiful mother happened to be over. She was visiting my sister and I was like, hi, mum, I love you. I need you to sit on this couch while I get this task done. That's all I require of you. Just sit there while I do this. Was the task difficult? No. Was it time consuming? No, it took 10 minutes. But it would have been so much more effortful to have to get myself to do it without someone sitting there beside me. I would have procrastinated it way longer. So in the ADHD world, they call this body doubling, and as far as I can tell, there's been no research done on this. It's all anecdotal evidence. Body doubling puts this light pressure on you to get something done, to focus on one particular thing. It can also just make a very boring task a bit bit more rewarding because you have someone there that is like looking forward to you getting this task done. And at the end, you can both celebrate together, which is a bit more of an immediate reward for doing your task, which is why people with ADHD benefit from it, but everyone benefits from more immediate rewards. We all crave more instant gratification. One way that I use body doubling is by using an accountability software called FocusMate, where you get paired with someone else who is also working on a specific task. You declare your intentions at the start of a little video session and then you work together. But I will say that if it's a really stressful task, it's a task that you're really procrastinating, that you're really struggling to get yourself to do, a physical in-person body double, someone that loves you, cares about you, and wants you to get the thing done is probably going to be more effective than someone on a service like FocusMate. Create templates for your repetitive tasks. Often getting things done is much less about willpower and much more about your environment. Successful people create smart working environments that avoid resistance. One way to create less resistance is to set up templates and checklists for activities that you do regularly. And this is a really good way of shaping your environment that is accessible to most people. Some examples of templates that I use to make tasks easier are things like my video planning template, my morning routine checklist, my weekly reset checklist, and I also use templates for more creative items like titles and quotes that are made in Canva. This video is brought to you by Canva, where I have a bunch of templates stored that make my life easier. I love Canva, my sister loves Canva, my partner loves Canva, everybody loves Canva, because Canva is it when it comes to designing made easy. I use Canva Pro for elements in my videos like this, and this, and this, and this. You see Canva Pro used in my videos all the time because honestly, it is so much easier to use than a traditional video editing platform. And it has all of these beautiful assets. There's about 100 million-ish to be clear. And on Canva Pro, you can get beautiful stock footage now. There's stock photos. There's these beautiful fonts. Canva Pro has everything that you need in one spot, regardless of what you are creating or what you are sharing. With Canva Pro, you can stay organized with unlimited folders and up to 100 gigabytes of storage so that you never misplace your designs again. Canva Pro has tools like the brand kit, so you can access all of your brand colors in a second, making creating things so much easier. It has the background remover that never misses. It's so good. I use this all the time. You can even collaborate on videos, so you can add comments, you can improve things without having to leave the platform. You can even schedule your content straight from Canva into TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever platform you use, using their content planner to save you time. Canva is truly on easy mode. There is no learning curve. It is so easy for anyone to pick up. So many Canva features are free, but with a low cost subscription, you get access to Canva video and so much more. You can team up and save with Canva Pro. For just $12.95 a month for up to 5 people, you and your team can unlock everything the Pro has to offer. Plus, you can get a free 45-day extended trial by going to the link that's in my description. Try Canva Pro for free using my 45-day free trial in the link down in the description so that you can try out everything that it has to offer and make your life easier. Work with your energy dips and your energy peaks. If you are an early riser, your energy dips and peaks in the day might look something like this. If you are a normal early to mid-morning riser, your dips and your peaks will look like this. If you're a late riser, your energy dips and your energy peaks are going to look like this. Where you can, work with your energy dips and your energy peaks to get the most out of your time. This matters so much because the amount that you can do varies so much depending on whether you are in a dip or a peak. Something that you try to do while you are in your dip might take 4 times as long versus when you try to do it in your peak. So if you're an early riser, you have a day job, you're working on your side hustle in the afternoon, the tasks that you're doing are probably taking you 2 to 4 times as long because you're not working with your energy peak, which would be the early morning before work. Working without your mind, your body works is like swimming with the current. You get where you want to go a lot quicker, wasting a lot less energy. Have a power hour. So a long while ago, I took a course and it was all about launching, and they talked about how every single day you should have a power hour where you do a bunch of launch activities and you cram everything into that power hour. I took that concept and I ran with it, and I created something that started out as an admin hour. It was a peace routine. Right now it's a future me hour, but this is an hour focused on doing usually administrative tasks that I don't often want to do. Future me hour is dedicated to the peace of future me by doing a bunch of things within an hour that make future me feel a lot less stressed. A good chunk of future me hour is just engaging with the things that I need to engage with. In the book Get Everything Done by Mark Forster, he talks about how attention management is everything, and anything that doesn't get regular attention simply gets worse. Houseplants, cars, projects, just about anything. The reason that most projects and goals fail is because they just aren't given regular attention. So in future me hour, I try to make sure that I'm giving attention to the things that need attention to keep on moving forward. Practicing a daily shutdown. At the end of a working day, which will be either when I've finished all of my tasks or when it hits about 4 p.m, I do a tidy and I plan for my next day. And this is something that I did when I was in an office environment, and I do it now that I work from home. By doing this, I create this clean slate for the day ahead. So I wake up, things are tidy, I have a plan for my day, and it really makes a fresh start feel like a fresh start. I will say with my tidying habits, sometimes when it gets to the arvo and I'm just like, oh, I feel so tired, I will put it off to the next day, but that's okay because in the morning, I'll just do my tidy anyways and it'll still give me that fresh start feeling. And by planning my day, I also wake up with this clear idea of exactly what I'm going to fill my day with. It's so much easier to get started. There is no decision fatigue involved. Time blocking and prioritizing my days. So to organize my days, I'm writing down a list of 3 things, and these usually come from my weekly to-dos. I start with my most important to-do, and then I have 2 nice to-dos. One thing that I find helpful is really having the mindset of my most important to-do is the only thing that I need to get done in my days. Sometimes you get all of your things done and more, but some days that simply doesn't happen. So make it a point to prioritize that most important to do. After that, I create a little daily time block. I put in any meetings, any gym workouts I booked in for, and then I put in my tasks. Something that I've always been bad at is realistically scheduling my time. Since I've started time blocking, I've gotten so much better at understanding what I am capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing. Things that I used to think would take half an hour, I know now take about 3 hours, and that's how much time I need to put aside for them. And there's also things that I used to think would take 3 hours that only take half an hour. Time blocking helps me to be mentally prepared for my day ahead because I know kind of how it's gonna flow. If things change, but I have an idea. And also it helps me to be more self-compassionate because I'm making sure that I'm planning plenty of time to get things done, having a more realistic view of what I can fit into my day. Implementing reset routines. I've talked a lot before about being a bounce back queen, about having a bounce back mindset. This idea that you can suck at your routines for a week and then you can just get back on track the next. That's not a big deal. That you can skip all of your workouts on one busy week and the next week you can just bounce back. My mindset is I just try not to see failing or skipping habits or having bad weeks as a big deal. I just don't fuss and I just get back to it. And I find that a lot more helpful than any other mindset of like hustle, discipline. If you don't stick with it, you're not strong enough. Like that just kills me and I want nothing to do with it. And that's why I've leaned more towards a bounce back mindset. It's self-compassionate. It keeps me doing things a lot more than those other mindsets. And it's pretty easy to embrace by just seeing every day, every week as a fresh start and not judging past me very harshly, because it's just no point. One way that I actively embrace the bounce back mindset is by having these little resets in place. So I've already sort of talked about my daily reset. In a way, that's me creating a fresh, clean slate for the new day. But I also do weekly resets and I do monthly resets and I do quarterly resets. It's kind of just like cleaning your room, but you're cleaning your mind and probably your room. Sometimes you forget that you can have a fresh start genuinely whenever you want, but having these little resets in place kind of signifies fresh start. It says, okay, we're starting afresh. What are we gonna do this week? Month, quarter, year. Having these intentional checkpoints in my life pull me back on track when I float away. To practice better life management and time management, make sure that you have lots of little checkpoints that are pulling you back on track outside of just New Year's and your birthday. If you liked this video, you'll probably like my video on 10 easy ways to simplify your life today. I talk about things that you can do pretty instantly that will simplify your life, make things a little bit easier, which is what I am all about. That video is gonna be on the screen. It's also gonna be down below. I appreciate you guys so much and I will see you soon.